You're now watching a clip taken from the Multipliers Club. Hit the subscribe button. A new episode lands 8 p.m. every Wednesday.
And then we broke a world record as well in 2020, I think it was, or 2021, which was longest live audio stream. So we did 53 hours non-stop podcasting. Yeah.
How did that work?
What did you talk about sleeping?
53 hours.
Just you two without sleeping, no.
We had like different guests that would come on like Zoom, because it was like the lockdown era and all that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, 53 hours. And the reason we did it, it was, I think, a year after we'd officially launched. We were actually recording episodes for about 8 months or so before we launched it as well. Yeah. And then on the 1 year anniversary, we'd had some great guests, like some good downloads. People were loving it. And we were like, we need to do something mad. Yeah. Like, how do we do something big? Because we're all about success and pushing yourself and all that. And I just said, like, why don't we see what the world record is for, like, longest podcast? And my cousin was like, yeah, all right, we'll do that then. And we just...
Do you still hold that title?
Currently, yeah.
Let's break it.
Do it. Let's pass on the baton. No, it's not fair. There's more of you. You've got an easier ride.
We've already done an hour. Let's just carry on.
Just keep it going. Yeah. So
you must have been drained after that, right?
Yeah, it was cool. Like, because people are like, they ask you questions about that, like mentally, how do you do something like that? And honestly, it's quite a good lesson for life. Is you take it 1 hour at a time. You have the goal. We want to get. I think the record at the time was 51 or 52 hours. So it's like the goal is get beyond that. You know that's where you're heading, but then you don't focus on that. You just focus on now, this hour. And with my cousin being a PT as well, he obviously quite understands about like the energy slumps and stuff like that. So what we did was, I think we went about the first 17 hours, something like that, where we just didn't eat. We just fasted the whole thing, just drank water. I think eventually at some point we might have brought maybe some caffeine in, I can't remember. And then when we ate, there was no carbohydrates. I think we just had chicken breasts and like broccoli. So again, to avoid these energy slumps. So that was a bit of a trick.
What point did you introduce the cocaine?
I mean, that was right at the beginning. That was the start. That was the real secret. By the way, it wasn't. There was no drugs. No children was harmed. No, it was. That's crazy. That was a good trick, really, is knowing about how your body reacts to energy slumps and stuff like that. But then
Deprivation.
That first night, when you've done a full day talking like this, like a full day, and then it gets to darkness, and then it gets to, like, this is normally like when people will be watching telly and going to bed, and we're still going, and then it goes midnight, and then you're still going, and then we got to about 3 a.m, but this is still only the first day, right? And it was a weird place to be. It was like we were drunk. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was like proper delirious. We were saying random stuff. I remember there was a bit, because you were allowed like these 5-minute breaks. I don't know if it was... You could have a 5-minute break every couple of hours or something to go to have a wee or, go to the toilet. So we would save them up, and eventually we both got something like or it might have been 3 minutes, I can't remember. So we both got a 25-minute break, basically, in the 53 hours. And when my cousin, like, went for his break and he came back, I was interviewing a guy. I can't remember what he said, but it was just like saying something like, oh, when I was a kid and we used to play around the park. And my cousin just walked in looking like he was on drugs. He really did. And he just went, park life. And just like, and I went, sorry about that. And he was like, hi. And it was like, none of us had drank alcohol or anything. But it was like, I was literally like, you're pissed. And it was just the tiredness.